Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.gg Invite Highlander qualifier match taking place between the ItsyAcore experience and Train Station. I am Alto, joined by Zag to my side, Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. It's been a nice, relaxing off season for Highlander. I've been doing some things, and it's gonna be fun to be back casting again. Definitely enjoy it, and we do have a bit more of a casual experience. But that said, there's a lot on the line tonight here for these two teams. The invite qualifiers have just gotten started, and these two teams, ItsyAcore Experience and Train Station, they're gonna be battling out in this first match. And every game will matter here in these qualifiers because we do have four teams playing for, I believe, is it one playoff spot? Or one invite spot rather left, so every win's gonna matter here. They can't make any mistakes if they want to get that last spot.
Definitely, and we have a bunch of rosters in this, or a bunch of players in these games coming into this who have some familiar faces, but are joined by some newer players, and in one case, a much older player. So Zag, if you want to start us on the rosters.
Sure thing. So starting off on the ItsyAcore experience, we're going to have Inquisition on Scout, Saturation on Soldier, Despy on Pyro, Kainoa on Demoman, Nurks on Heavy, Green King on Engineer, Starfruit on Medic, Jims Gims on Sniper, and Acore on Spy.
And over on Train Station, Cutimus will be on Scout, Rai on Soldier, Rez on Pyro, Nick on Demoman, Jinzo Heavy, Frog on Engie, Matches on Medic, Mountain on Sniper, and Lucky on Spy.
Definitely a mix of some older players in with these names, notably. So one of the older players here, Kainoa, is making his return. He is a personal friend of ours, so I'm gonna shout him out right away. Coming back, Devilman for ItsyAcore. I'm not sure how he's gonna be, but I think he'll be fine. But yeah, that's one of the older players here. We also have players like Nick K, who I know is making a return to the scene after being in Overwatch for a while.
He's been around for the past few seasons. I think he played in Challenger 2 seasons ago. I want to say on the SARS team, the one that moved up into Invite last season. So he's definitely been around. But yeah, and then you've got Rai who used to play Spy back on Chill Penguins back in the day. And one of the names I'm personally interested in is Mountain coming up
that's
here,
the Mount I was thinking of, right? Yeah.
Mountain, I've been playing in main the past couple of seasons, either with some old friends, and he had been in main and was consistently stomping the division, and I know he moved up into, I believe it was Advanced last season, and performed pretty well there, so he's an up-and-comer that, I've been expecting to kind of see make it into the big leagues, you could say, sometime in the future, and it's cool to see he's finally here. And then a bunch of other notable things is that a lot of the ItsyAcore experience is our old friends imposters, but some of them on some new classes.
Yeah, Inquisition, formerly Spanish Inquisition, the Pyro main is on Scout. And considering how much I used to see him take Pyro Ubers across Viaduct, much to my dismay, now he can actually do that from Scout. So, maybe all that practice will come in handy here.
And I know that some people might be thinking, wait, why is he going from Pyro to Scout? But from what I've been hearing, he's been playing a ton of Sixes Pugs, practicing the class a lot. I get the experience of sometimes pre-gaming his fours team in a pug scrim, and he plays Scout often in that. So he's definitely been working on his aim. So I think he's going to surprise some people on Scout. And then Starfruit moving over to Medic as well. Starfruit had been the longtime engineer on
the imposters,
right? And as someone who personally ended up on Medic after getting laughed off of a combat class, might be could have a talent for it. So interested to see how these roster changes turn out, definitely, since a lot of these names have been playing together, but seeing how well they come together at this point in the preseason should be really interesting.
Yeah, and because every match will matter for this invite qualifier, these teams need to bring their best immediately, because if they have a couple bad games, all of a sudden that invite ticket is going to be gone. They're going to be playing in, it will be advanced this year, no challenger, right?
Yeah, Challenger was removed, so advanced will be the second highest division, yeah. So, I mean, you gotta figure that unless we have some freaky, four-way 2-2 tie, 2 losses is gonna be enough to disqualify you here. Yeah. So taking one of those in your first match is not going to be good for your chances going forward.
Yep, and we'll be playing on Viaduct right now for this map, and quintessential Highlander map. We got DM coordination both being equally important on this. Pushes need to be coordinated, players need to be able to dodge sniper sight lines, check for spies. Any disasters that happen are immediately compounded on by more bombs and more picks. So a lot of quintessential Highlander gameplay can be tested out here.
Yeah, some things, though, just kind of moving into the match itself that I'm going to be looking forward to, especially on the side of the ItsyAcore experience. Kainoa was a player that I always trusted to have really good DM on a ton of classes when he was playing, but that was almost 5 years ago, I want to say. So he's come back fairly recently. This is going to be one of his first experiences back, so I'm I'm anxious to see if he's, derusted well enough, or if he's still gotta shake off the actual years of just having not played. As well as I personally cannot say I'm familiar with Jim's Gims on Sniper, so Mountain is someone that, while not necessarily having made a name in higher divs, or at least, an invite, is a player that I've played against and can have personal experience knowing that he's at least got a solid grasp of the fundamentals, regardless of how his performance turns out. But to me, that name's a bit of an unknown. So if he shows up, he could be exactly what he needs for the ItsyAcore experience to win here. But otherwise, I don't have too much to expect.
Yeah, in a contrast though, with the other pick class Spy I can bring up right now, ItsyAcore on Spy for ItsyAcore experience, he's been around for a while. He never really broke the plane into being like a respectable invite Spy. I know he has hung around the second highest division for a while. He's at his tryouts for the invite teams. But if he's able to make a good performance in for himself, help his team go up there, he'll be in that discussion for invite Spy now. And he definitely has the experience to do it at this point. I'd say like the talent pool is to the point where he is able to do it if his experience comes through. On the other side, I've personally never heard of Lucky before. I'm not sure what division he played in last season, but Spy is the kind of class where players can come in and just play really well in the class without having necessarily a lot of experience in. Especially last season, we noticed like BM of all people coming from being like a pyro main to MCM whenever they needed him, whenever Evil quit mid-season, and he played phenomenally even in grand finals against the best team. So Spy is definitely one of those classes that anyone can just get into and play really well if they have the natural the adaptivity for it.
Yeah, it looks like Lucky had been playing a bunch of seasons in main, subbed on Yacht Club last season in Invite, and suddenly comes in with a main spot here, so could definitely be a very quick riser. But kind of, I think something that we should, at least I want to talk about right away, is that my own conceptions on these teams is that I'm looking at Train Station as pretty sizable overdogs here. Just the experience and names on some of those key classes there. We haven't really talked about Cutimus and Rai on flank, but they've won advanced in the past and had played on, what was the team? The Dojo? It was the Dojo that they were playing on in, high advanced, low invite. So they've got that experience. They've got Nick K on demo, who is been around forever. I remember back when I was in, climbing the divs, he was still around back then, so he's got a lot of experience under his belt. Been playing more recently than Kainoa has, his counterpart. And Mountain's a name that I've got some fear for. So I think Acore has the ItsyAcore experience, not just Acore himself, have a ton of question marks they need to answer around a lot of their key classes, that being Inquisition on Scout, Kainoa on Demo, and Jim's Gims on Sniper. And if all of those answers turn out to be yes, they're going to be in a great spot. But those are three more questions I feel like that they have to answer that Train Station doesn't. What are your takes on that, Zach?
I think that's a decent take on things. Definitely when you're coming in with a demo man of 5-year hiatus returning, a pyro main switch scout, and a sniper who hasn't played at this level before. I think the trio of scout, dome, and sniper being the biggest question marks on your team is definitely not boding well for your chances. That said, I feel like the level of the invite qualifiers might be to the point where these players will have the chance to ramp up their baseline levels. You mentioned Inquisition's been practicing. Kainoa, we definitely know he has respectable DM even back then. I feel like if their baseline is enough to keep up, I think they'll very quickly excel in these play-ins. So it's just about how fast they can get going, how fast they can ramp up, in my opinion.
Definitely, yeah. And I believe we have one of the teams readied up, so we should hopefully be underway quite soon. So I believe we are playing this as an actual match, 2-4. So let me get a round score to you, Zach.
It's tough. I'm gonna predict ItsyAcore is gonna take this one 4-3. I think it's gonna be close, actually.
Interesting. All right, then I'm gonna, I say I'm gonna go for the split desk, but I was gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna say that I think that Train Station's gonna pull it out. I'll go with a 4-1 or a 4-2. I think I'm leaning towards a 4-2 here. So, we've got some dissension on the desk. We've got word that we're going live in 30 seconds. So, hang tight. And I guess in this last bit of time, Zach, who are you going to be watching on this first mid to make a difference?
I'm gonna be watching Demo Man, honestly. Kainoa returning 5-year hiatus or whatever, however long he was gone, versus Nick K, someone who we've known has been playing Highlander in the past and is making not necessarily his clean return, but he's somewhat new back into this scene and still potentially might be ramping up to his full potential. So I think Demo Man versus Demo Man is gonna be very important here on this mid.
Definitely, and I'm looking forward to the snipers to see if Gims can show up, since gotta get a good scouting report in on him. But we are underway here in the first invite qualifier match. Nick and Kainoa both looking to roll out here. We're going to see way faster rollouts on the side of Train Station, though, taking really aggressive positioning as Kainoa comes in quite a bit later than everyone else. Spam
He's going for a
back and
deep
forth.
cloak. Lucky got found out instantly, though, and here's the bomb over the top. Onto Rai Rai. Rai Rai's getting a lot of damage from the cliff. He's going to drop down the Starfruit. One more rocket, and then there is Rai Rai finding that med pick. Mountain as well going to get the snipe onto Jim's game, so that's going in their favor. Bomb in here from Saturation trying to make something out of nothing. That stays nothing. ItsyAcore going to get a 2k, though. Res and Mountain going down. It's a lot, but not enough. Last scout sat coming in and going down, so that is the mid for Train Station.
Yeah, it felt like Acore just showed up so late to that mid-fight. You know, there was already point positioning being taken by Train Station right off the bat there, so by the time they made it in, he already just had such bad positioning that Nick was able to get a ton of damage off, walk forward. The bomb coming out of Rai Rai was really big and distracting Nurks. He goes down, and oh, Nick gonna get 2 on a trap. That's the Met! Starfruit goes down again, so Sack's gonna come in. Matches will get forced here. Really good bomb coming out there. So the Uber's going to be taken across, trying to find whatever frags they can, but things have been looking really good for Train Station so far.
Yeah, but that's not the worst thing in the world for ItsyAcore experience. That they did lose their medic, but if you're going to lose your medic on a sack, lose them at the beginning. That way you at least have even Uber coming forward, and they will be looking to walk out for this. But we do see Train Station trying to take an aggressive hold. This is an invite maneuver if I've ever seen one, trying to hold their opponent's cliff. We'll have to see how that turns out. They have their sniper, demo, pyro, medic, soldier, heavy all up there. Looks like they are going to choose to back up. ItsyAcore experience smartly going the far left side, as you do when the team's holding bats, and we're going to be on a bit of a reset here. Both teams on about 50% Uber.
Yes, very slight ad for Starfruit right now, but nothing worth pushing off of. Mountain looking to get an angle on quite a number of players here. Takes out Nurks, realizes the med's not going to peek, but going down, Kainoa's going to start walking forward. They've got some really good pressure there, but that is Ink on Scout going down on point. Kainoa's going to fall quickly after. He's on the booties right now, and Lucky's going to come and pick up Despy, and that push did not go very well, you know. I can understand waiting for the sniper to take a shot before walking forward, but walking without your heavy doesn't really give you anything back to fall back on. Thankfully, Starfruit lived and will come up on Uber. We'll have to see how their first exchange goes.
Yeah, this exchange is going to be very telling. It's the first Uber v Uber, so we have to see if ItsyAcore experience is able to kind of turn the tides here. There are 2 minutes in the hole right now. Only 1 minute left for Train Station to take this first round, as it looks like ItsyAcore gonna pop off of bats here. Solo onto Kainoa. Right now getting stuffed by Rez. The Pyro doing a good job denying that one. He's gonna get the Uber popped on him. We see Cutimus running forward, trying to get the cleanup. Gonna get Jim's Gims. Nurk's gonna go down as well. They can't quite get the kill to Starfruit, but that's a very successful trade from the side of the Train Station, and they're gonna get more kills in post. They stayed too long, and they lost Starfruit. I don't know why ItsyAcore experience stayed in that lower cliff, but that's going to cost them.
Yeah, Starfruit had made it out to the, the cliff spawn, but walked back in thinking that his team might have needed heals, and he needed to just be out of there. So, not a good showing from them so far in this first round. Lucky kind of hovering on China, going to take out Nurks, not being aware at all. Second time in a row, he's gone down to a stab. But Acore's going to, pretty much forced to walk forward here on a dry push. They did manage to get matches, it looks like, given that matches doesn't have much Uber, so we must have missed that, but Kainoa's going to get sniped out. That is Saturation going down right away, and Starfruit dies to stickies here, so they are just getting mulched behind Rock. Jim's going to get stabbed out, Nurk's going down again, and it is a massacre here on Rock for Train Station as they look to put together a flawless first round.
Yeah, just Kainoa coming in at the end, not going to find anything and taken down. There's Green King going down as well. Spy can't do anything, and that is a clean 3 minutes to 0. First round for the Train Station, looking way better.
The train going across the top of the point right as they cap, too. It's like it knows.
I always forget that that's a thing that happens on this map, because like on low graphics, you can't even see train tracks up there. It just comes sometimes, you don't even know. But yeah, that will be a very dominant round. It's going to take a lot of digging for ItsyAcore experience to find their way back in here.
Kainoa with a cliff roll out here. Kai's getting a little, trying to mix it up here. Not sure if that's what was practice. He's going to drop down right away as everyone else went through main, but 2 kills already. Make that 3 coming across, make that 4 coming across the Train Station. Flank and Spy completely decimated. Nerd's going to go down. Kainoa not on much health, but going to be forced to back off. Starfruit playing Back Valley. They are in a 7v3 right now. Starfruit's just got to abandon his demo man and hightail it back out to spawn. That happened really fast.
Yeah, so Starfruit does get out alive, so they're able to charge their Uber and go back on this. But like, I noticed something very like telling about the problems with ItsyAcore experience right now, and that's that they had the right idea on mid. We saw Kainoa and his heavy try to walk across caution to try and get some pressure, but they were all alone. They had no support from the other side, and they instantly just got mulched by everyone on the other on the back out. So there's really no way that those two alone can do all the work. You need a full team to make that play. But Matches just got sniped by Jim's Gims.
Yeah, I think that might even be his first kill, but it's a good one to come in. That is going to be Ink going across the point with that Uber. Only really going to pick up the kill onto Frog right there, but that's all you need. Mountain, though, going to land the counter snipe, so they are going to be a little bit vulnerable in this post-Uber here. Matches having respawn, going to be at about a 15% disad. Mountain, though, going down, and here comes in the bomb
Good
out.
reflect.
Right, great reflect out of Despy right there to take him out. So we finally have a cap coming in for the ItsyAcore experience, but Train Station getting aggressive really quickly.
Yeah, they need more pressure right now to walk forward. We see Kainoa getting pressured and trying to do some damage to Nick K, but Nick K has tons of space. Kainoa gonna go down. Mercs as well dropping Nick with that 2K. And now we see him running forward, trying to get some pipes behind these rocks. Reflects are going through as ItsyAcore does find some counter espionage, goes down for it though. And there's the point captured by Train Station once again, but at least Starfruit is out.
Feels like there's some better coordination or focus just coming out of the side of Train Station right now. You know, with Kainoa and Nurks going down in quick order there, was it felt like the damage coming out of the red combo was just way more split.
Yeah, and there's Mountain. Gets the snipe up to the scouts. This is a solo Demo Man Uber. No chase potential. That was a big pick by Mountain. Kainoa not going to be able to find anything. Jinzo gets an arrow, stays alive, and that Uber was completely failed. They didn't get any point presence. So now it's going to be a reset dry pressure. We're going to see Matches get his Uber, though, in just a second, and they're going to use it immediately. Nick K and Cutimus taking this one in. Despy doing a good job denying at least, so they will back out. That said, Rai gets a 2K onto Kainoa and one more, doing a lot of damage in that backline, and that push is completely repelled by Train Station.
Yeah, I mean, they pop out that Uber knowing they've got that small bit of ad, but just don't really get anything with it. Ink had gotten sniped, I believe, right as it happened, so you don't have a scout to really aggressively push that advantage, and then they just end up getting mulched in the post-fight. Starfruit, though, making it out, so another ad for them here is the kind of thing to look forward to, but they are very quickly running out of time as Mountain very aggressive on the boxes, but Lucky finds that stick onto Kainoa, meaning that there's going to be no demo to, kind of be here right when this Uber starts out. Starfruit brought almost down to 0 there. There comes a Nick! And he's going to get piped off the mini sentry, losing your med right at, I think that was about 95 or so.
Yeah, it was 95. Yeah, but we're going to see right now Train Station, they're just kind of walking forward onto their opponent's concrete. They're going to lose Jinzo for it, a bit overconfident. Arrow can't get there in time. And it looks like ItsyAcore Experience will have some time to try and push here, but they're going to lose more players. Saturation and Inquisition both going down. They get the Force at least, so good rockets there from Saturation. Actually ended up forcing that though, as Kainoa gets picked off in the post. That'll be what he can do. And it looks like now it's 30 seconds left for Train Station in this round.
Yeah, and I mean, just I guess they had that advantage of I think it was Jinzo who they got caught out. Might have been a pick to go off of, but they just dropped so many people in the post. Lucky coming in, Kai gonna turn around just in time though, not gonna get a kill coming out of spawn right there. Mountain going down too, so Jinskim's finding the pick. Gonna see a bit of some aggression aggression coming back out from Train Station, but they're quickly dropping players. Kai getting really aggressive, and there comes in Saturation. Gonna get a lot more damage out, no frags, but Kainoa able to take a ton of space here. Good cap time coming in. That Wrangled Mini gonna be a bit of a problem though, and Kainoa will go down. Jinzo peeking it off cliff, manages to stay alive. Again, that lack of focus from Acore kind of biting them back in the ass here. Jinzo now just walking forward across caution, will finally go down, but made so much space, so much time for his team to start getting spawns and come in. Mountain in pocket may not be enough just due to the spawn timers, but it looks like they will capital, though it definitely took a little bit longer than we would have liked to see. The Uber Force!
Yeah, Rai just got a good rocket in, and Starfruit did not trust his team to kill that soldier in time, and rightfully so, because he didn't die in time, but yeah, that will be Uber forced out, and that's going to be a big advantage in the favor of Train Station, especially with Mountain finding that pick onto Kainoa. No more stickies available to stop this push forward. It's just going to be Scout here trying to deny. Inquisition gets killed immediately as Lucky got a 2K in the back, making a 3K with a revolver shot onto Starfruit. Easy capture coming in here for Train Station. There is the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, signs of life. I think coming out of the ItsyAcore experience, they got a minute off the clock this time. Starfruit was tending to get out a lot more, but they are just leading so many players so often. It feels like they haven't had a single 9-man push this entire game so far.
Yeah, that will be the halftime 2-0, and off of that, it's not looking very promising for the ItsyAcore experience in this match. They look way more disjointed than their opposition. In addition to that, they're pretty much getting out DM'd, out fragged on all the key classes. Nick K having a phenomenal game on Demoman, easily the best player in the server in that half.
I just pulled logs up. Guess the DPM.
550.
712.
There is no way he's 700 DPM.
712 DPM,
There's
14
no
and 3.
700 DPM that. Oh my god.
They more than double the frags. It was 85 to 37.
Even without knowing his exact stats, it was very apparent that he was the best player in the server in that half, where he was able to just walk forward and get so much spam, so much damage on everyone that it didn't even matter if like he was ever alone or ever like in disjoint for most of his team. He would fix those mistakes just by outputting so much damage. On the other side, when you're outputting that much less pressure for the ItsyAcore experience as they were, and you don't have a player doing that much work, all of a sudden you don't have anyone to fill in those gaps, and you get really, really punished for the disjoint.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's difficult to look at any individual player on the ItsyAcore experience and really throw any targeted criticism at them, because they're getting outmatched as a team here pretty heavily. When you're, you know, JimsGims was able to definitely show up and get some picks. He had a couple counter snipes onto Mountain, had that med drop onto Matches, which was really important. But when the enemy sniper is going 16 and 4 and the demo's dropping 700 DPM, there's really not too much. Yeah, you cannot win Viaduct in a situation like that. So, just, you know, it is oppressive to play against players that are doing that well. So, not, you know, you can throw some kind of general criticisms out, right? That their mids were very slow. They were getting caught out too often. I think Lucky was getting away with a lot. Like, right at the end there, we saw him pick up a 3K, where he just walks up in the middle of the combo, no one watches it, stabs the sniper, and then stabs the pyro. And, like, that's something that you can be a lot more aware of, but they're gonna need to really watch those pick class deaths, and they're really gonna need kind of Jims and Ink to step up in this next half if they want to have even dreams of taking a round here, much less pulling it back.
Yeah, so there's some things to build off of for ItsyAcore. You definitely have some players who are able to get kills. We saw when they actually were set up for success. JimsGims actually found a lot of good picks. He won his fair share of SVSs and got a couple key med picks, excuse me. There needs to be more from the entirety of ItsyAcore experience as a team. Inquisition, I don't think we saw a single... Okay, so if their medic's dying off chain, obviously we're not going to see very many Ubers out of them. Like, the 2 Ubers that they did have looked really bad, as in, like, they had to pop early, they didn't get any damage on anyone, someone either got sniped or someone, like, didn't get flashes. We saw one where Inquisition just got sniped before he could get a flash, which, sometimes you'd say that's unlucky, sometimes, like, okay, well, maybe don't, like, know where the sniper is so you can try to dodge the sightline. Overall, there just needs to be more coming out of ItsyAcore.
Wait, say that last bit again?
Overall, this needs to be more coming from the ItsyAcore experience.
Oh, okay, yeah. That took me for a second.
I hate, by the way, when a team, like, make their team name something that has to do with one of the players' names as, like, a shorthand, so I can't just call them the ItsyAcore experience in cast because it's so long, but at the same time, I can't shorten it to Acore, ItsyAcore, because they have a player named Acore. And it's named after a player.
Right, because when you said you want to see more out of them, I'm like, wait, but ItsyAcore, the player top fragged the team, ItsyAcore. So
I don't know if you knew about this, but I did a Sixes cast a week ago, and one of the teams is called the team Paul Dog, and the player Paul Dog was on the other team. It was awful. But anyway, we're into the next half already. It's gonna be ItsyAcore experience on red, train on blue once again, rolling out for the mid.
Kanoa coming off cliff again, not going to be too much, but Kyuda's going down right away. Jin's going to find that opening frag there, but here comes in the bomb, going to land on China from Rai, doing a lot of space making there. Coming back in for the second time, going to find even more space. Starfruit, good surf to live. Nurx and Kanoa both going to get stabbed out by Lucky, continuing to find really good success here. And just another very dominant mid coming out of the side of train station.
Yeah, silver lining, Starfruit was one of 3 players who lived that mid, as well as their Spy and Pyro, so at least they have something to work with on that front. But we're going to see Train Station hopping onto their opponent's cliff once again. They have stickies on the cliff walkout, and they have players running out through main. A lot of damage getting done to them. We're going to see a Pyro landing on their heads right now, doing a ton of damage, gets Nurx and Kino, and forces their Uber in a terrible spot. That was an amazing play by Rez there to do all that damage.
I don't want to... retroactively take praise away back from a player. That was a bot play that shouldn't have worked, and Rez must have put a cloaking device on or something, because the amount of time he lived in the middle of 7 people was way too long. That is a
Well, Sig took advantage of his windows
yeah.
of opportunity. The window just might have been open for a bit too long.
Yeah, that is not a play the ItsyAcore experience can allow to happen that way. If you're gonna lose one person, then you know that's bad enough. But to lose 2 people and an Uber force for 1 pyro, that's unacceptable. And Starfruit's just gonna get stuttered,
Yeah.
you know, be hopped up by a sticky and
They got the
immediately go
force.
down.
It's a free Uber, but at least they got it out. Nurk's gonna get shot down by 1 HP Q-Miss, gets a flash, keeps his life, and yeah, we're 1 minute and a half halfway through this 3rd round here, and Train Station still looks undefeatable in this match. They're gonna go to their opponent's house and clip once again. Sticks on the walkout. They have players on top of the shutter. If Rez gonna do it again over the top. Okay, this is the total spawn camp setup, no matter where they go out. We'll have to see what this goes. Jinzo's alone though, he's gonna die.
And Nurk's they're all trying to push out onto grass, and there comes it again! Doesn't actually get any kills this time.
Yeah.
Decent damage, but will go down. Nurk's taking that, but Mountain gonna land the shot onto,
Ooh!
Ooh, yes! Jims finds the medic again! As it looks like we are gonna see a bit of a counter push coming back from the ItsyAcore experience. 2 minutes down into the round, but they should pull this cap off here. Long spawn times on the side of Train Station should allow this to come through. And a little bit of over aggro coming out of Train Station. Almost want to say they deserved
limit
it.
testing. We'll say when the Pyro jumps on the entire team's heads for the 2nd time, he's testing the limits for a 2nd time. But yeah, that will be first capture of the round coming in for the ItsyAcore experience. They're going to have full Uber as well, and they're going to have 9 players alive for it. So if they have any chance to hold a... Okay, Kaino's going to get sniped by Mountain on a 5k. Now it's an 8v9 in favor, but Nick K actually going to drop to that trap before. I didn't even see that. No Devilman in this fight going forward as no one wants to pop in. There's a spy coming in though, going to kill Derpy and Jim's Gims, and they're going to lose players as well. So it's a solo Uber onto the heavy here for the ItsyAcore experiences. They have 4 alive.
Yeah, and again, Lucky coming in, starting off the chain step with the Pyro. Not what you generally want to be seeing happening, but yeah, just again, they keep dropping players. You know, Kainoa going down there is really, you can't have your demo be the first person to go down. Even if he does, you know, get trade out the other demo, you always will take that as the attacking team. But there is Despy walking forward, going to force the entire combo off of Cliff on his own. Almost picks up the kill onto Nick, but not able to find it.
Yeah, match is going to be up on 100% Uber. Starfruit only on 50. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Spy's going to walk up on Cliff here. Jim's Games actually sees him, so he won't die there. The bomb coming in. Nick Cage gets the cleanup, though. They do force the Uber at least. Kainoa and Saturation's bomb was not for naught. That said, Rai coming in, frag onto Jim's Games. Going to give that sniper a spawn timer. And now we see everyone going to be up in about 5 seconds for ItsyAcore, and they have the Uber here.
Yeah, if there's been one saving grace for the side of ItsyAcore is that they've been consistently able to find sacks and picks onto matches. I don't know if it's a little bit of careless play because of how strong everyone else is performing or a legitimate weakness, but they're constantly able to get Uber advantages, get forces, and get med picks here. So being able to get that force means they'll directly leads into them taking this point. See 2 coming in for Saturation over on Concrete, but Mountain up on China, threatening to get someone right there. Will be forced back though, doesn't want to risk his life when there's unlikely to be any frags there, but if ItsyAcore can keep, you know, this pressure up on matches, then I don't know about this round, but next round they might be able to...
Starfruit just got forced by a sticky bomb. They're going to pop forward anyway. It gets 2 frags, Inquisition, Nick K, and Rez, both going down. Those are some pretty good frags, but unfortunately, they do not find matches. Matches going to be up on Uber shortly, but on the backside, Kainoa and Despy have both died. That's some pretty big picks to have on defensive spawn timers, as Kainoa still has 10 seconds left. Nick K now running forward with matches and his full Uber. Looks like they want to try and get the pop in here as late as possible. Going to milk it, get that pop. They do drop Q-Miss, though, to that backstab from ItsyAcore. So now it's a solo onto Nick K. But if this gets capped, the game is over. And ItsyAcore going to lose that round with 7 alive. Not exactly... I don't think they realized the time on the clock was that dire.
Yeah, I mean, just too many players missing, too many of them going down. It feels constant. Any advantage they get, they manage to give right back. Be it someone getting sniped, someone getting stabbed, an overextension on flank, or, you know, any combination of things. Kai continually going for this cliff rollout is not something I've seen before, and I don't know what it's getting them. He's getting there much later than Nick is. Nick's already gotten off 3-4 stickies by the time he does that.
So up some pipes over. Damage getting traded.
Jinzo is through onto the red grass. Gonna come in. Will go down to the mid eater. Almost takes out Green King. That very over-aggressive mid might end up biting Train Station in the back as tons of frags all coming out of the ItsyAcore experience. And it looks like they'll finally take a mid here.
Yeah, we saw ItsyAcore actually got a nice chain stab at the start of that fight, got 2 players, and was a big distraction to allow the rest of the team to walk forward. Ended up getting a third onto matches, getting that medic cleanup. So good play all around by the soldier and spy of ItsyAcore experience, and now they get to hold this with full Uber. This is the most advantageous spot they've found themselves in, and it's on match point. So if they can keep this going, maybe we'll see some more life.
Yeah, and we will kind of have to see here how does... I don't think ItsyAcore's ever had this much of an experience with an Uber at end point. Yeah.
Starford just forced that full HP. That is so bad.
Yeah.
He did not take a point of damage and he forced the Uber.
I can understand being afraid of a demo coming in and, you know, sinking the sticky in pipe at the same time, but at that point, right, if you haven't taken a point of damage, you make the demo man hit that, right? You don't just fear pop. Nick is not a bad demo, but if he's not, you know, he's not Banny or
like
Habib
that
or Bull.
And expect to win rounds. You have to hold that Uber.
Yeah, especially, you know, and they still managed to lose 3 or 4 people off of that sack. That, you know, ItsyAcore them, and they're the ones defending, and they even popped that Uber, and they still people go down. Not going to bite them too much. Matches, I think, actually went down as well, seeing as she's only at 40% right there. But yeah, Jim's going to pick up 2 on his own, and just a really strong front coming out of the ItsyAcore experience. Jim's actually the most forward person on his team. I respect that. Trying to get these shots onto Nick. He's going to get out, and we'll get out, though. But we are a minute and a half into this, and... you know, no time on the clock yet before train station.
Yeah, Jim's team's on a 5K right now. Looks like when he actually has space, he definitely is a match for Mountain, at least from what we've seen so far, when he can get shots off. And we're going to see them, the hitscan classes, do big work in that fight. Now, it's going to be a full Uber v full Uber in just a second. Nick K has a lot of space, though. They're going to pop in. Scout trying to get some damage. Inquisition's one more shot to the dome pick. Not going to get it quite yet, though, as ItsyAcore Experience has lost 3. Kainoa got dropped in the middle of the Uber. Saturation Jim's is going to go down as well. They've lost 5 for nothing, and now they're going to try and defend with what they can. They get Starford out at least, but they're going to lose the vast majority of their team and the point.
Yeah, and I mean, that being said, though, they're 2 minutes down here. With only their first cap, Starford got out, so it's going to be roughly even Ubers. This round is looking very much like it could go into the favor of the ItsyAcore experience.
Yeah, right now they're rolling out on cliff. Saturation doing a bomb in, gets 1 rocket, but not a second. Matches is very low. Kainoa trying to follow up with some span into the pocket. They have players trying to get angles, but Kainoa strafes into the middle, going to get taken down by that cliff heavy. They have no demo man now, but it looks like ItsyAcore going to even that one out. Gets the stab onto Nick K. Cap is almost out. Scout going to get pressure off for now, though. They do have more players and better players. They do get the capture as well. For ItsyAcore Experience's Engineer going to go down. They only have 4 players in the pocket right now, as Cutimus goes down to Jim's Gims with that headshot. Taking out that Scout is a big play. It's just a heavy on the rock, and other than that, train station has to back up and regroup.
Yeah, just a really strong defense there. ItsyAcore having gotten not just Nick, but also Mountain, meant that all of Acore was able to play wide there. And it just, again, a strong defense. Kainoa probably got a little bit too forward there, but was dealing good damage that ended up stopping the push later. So some positives to work here. And yeah, there's going to be an Uber coming out here. I don't know if they just got close and wanted to pop it, or it was a force, but Nick will be leading that better Uber. Way more point presence right now for the side of train station in this post. Lots of damage coming back off, though. Kai doing the best that he can to get damage down. And Mountain gonna get sniped out. Jim's continuing to roll off frags here. Rai gets butter knifed down. And the point, while it did go over, is now being edged back. Green King getting forward to do any damage that he can. And with these respawn timers,
ItsyAcore gets that 2K onto Jinzo and Nick K. The second one was a face stab, and that's going to turn the tides of the fight entirely. That one was lost for the side of ItsyAcore Experience, but that 2K on the key combo class is going to give them the capture. Train Station couldn't even cap that in time, so they have to get to this point immediately. It's now going to be overtime for ItsyAcore Experience.
Yeah, just they're actually looking to pull it back in. Here comes in Rai on the bomb, gonna get blasted off. Lucky not gonna be able to find anything either. Rai gonna go down. Great cleanup coming out of the side of ItsyAcore Experience, losing some members of their own, but Jinzo needs to go down quickly here. He's gonna take out Green King, gets arrowed.
It's just
back
Jinzo
up.
and Nick.
Ooh, Jinzo going down, yeah. Nick's almost on no health, he's going to go down. It's just matches. Cutimus coming back in through main, but it's not enough. And ItsyAcore will find themselves around here with their backs up against the wall.
It took the team's namesake getting 26 points and multiple key chain stabs that won team fights for them to take a round. That said, if you can do that as Spy against these invite qualifier teams consistently, all of a sudden you're looking at a team that has a lot of open windows to make their plays. So if that kind of performance can continue from ItsyAcore and Jim's Games too, because he had a very good round, we're seeing them going to have a good chance here on these follow Viaduct rounds.
Yeah, I mean, granted, you know, now here comes the adaptation, but bomb out of Rai gonna just, I think Starford got hit low by Stickies and doesn't even need to land on him, just flies overhead, and ItsyAcore again finding matches and Nick. Someone in that blue combo needs to start being a little bit more aware here. Lucky coming in for his own. Gonna whiff the first stab as everyone scatters in front of him.
Okay,
So,
they got the kills. He did his job.
no pain, no gain there.
Yeah.
Or no harm, no foul, I should say. As
again,
doesn't get the kill, doesn't
Lucky
die, and yeah, finds Kainoa here. Bit of an off-timer pick, so I don't think it's gonna mean too much ultimately. But you know, just being able to keep people on respawn
Rise
timers.
low and Starfruit. One more rocket gets cleaned up just in time by Green King.
Lucky finds Nurks too. Where?
Looked like it was out of left side or out of main, just heavy walking out, wasn't paying attention.
I see the ragdoll in the midst of like 3 other people, and no one's even looking for Lucky. And both spies here really looking to be putting their teams on their backs right now.
SVS about to pop up on this rock. Here's the spy. Okay, the spy just stabbed Despy, the pyro. That shouldn't happen off the cliff, and they're going to be forced backwards. Kind of going to get sniped by Mountain. Nurks as well going down again with Green King dying in the post, and that's going to be a very easy hold for Train Station. But Match is going to die to that saturation bomb, doing some damage. Was that spam across the point, actually, or was that a bomb?
Think, judging by the fact that Saturation's dead, I'm going to say it was probably closer to a bomb. Yeah.
They get the med at least, and Starfruit stayed alive throughout this entire ordeal, so they're going to have full Uber in just a second. Only down 1.5 minutes on the clock by the time they walk out. It's not out of the realm of possibility for ItsyAcore experience, but they need this push to work out. That was an early pop.
That was a really early pop. There were sticks on main that might have factored into it, but ain't going to get aggressive. Might find a pick onto Frog, and that's
Saturation,
about it.
one more rocket. It's reflected, I think.
ItsyAcore did pick up Jinzo in the backline there, so no heavy's gonna help walking in. There is Inquisition, but the dispenser armor saves matches. That is a frustrating feeling, to be certain. Again, just another really poor Uber coming out of the side of the ItsyAcore experience. And ooh, Starfruit brought down to about 3 HP in spawn. Didn't strafe out of that last rocket. Lots of damage coming into this cliff spawn exit right here. As a really, really forward play from Nick there. Gonna get forced back a little bit. Hudamus, yeah, not gonna escape being that far in, but a bit of a counter push coming out of the ItsyAcore experience here. Ink is really aggressive, taking good position. Match is hit really low, cannot play forward right now, and Jinzo gets stabbed out on Acore's own China, but Frog gonna be taking hit out as well, and that over-aggression from Train Station might be punished here, but no, here comes the Uber.
Unfortunately, Despy died earlier to a sniper, so he's not there to airblast the Uber at all, and Starfruit's gonna get chased down. He does make it out, but the entirety of ItsyAcore experience was decimated by that re-push in by Train Station. Lucky's been going off, by the way. In that previous fight, he had a 3K, gets Jim's Gims again, he stays alive to do more work here, so definitely good work from the spy of Train Station, looking to equal up the score against ItsyAcore himself. That said, we're going to start rolling out onto Cliff here. They're going to drop Inquisition immediately. We do see Despy at least getting the cleanup onto Jinzo. They have this Uber, they need to go on wall, they have the advantage here. It looks like it's going to need to be a Despy Nurks Uber, because I don't see Kainoa near them. He's there now, they're going to go on him.
Yeah, and oh, Nurk's getting dropped, sniped out right before that even starts. A lot of flashes coming in onto Despy here, despite not a lot of damage, really shortening that Uber length, but
flash that pyro like that.
Rez lives for a really long time, so I doubt it was going to matter too much, but Despy hiding in main, going to pick up matches, and he's going to get nicked too!
Yeah, that pyro flank is the deadliest. We've seen a lot of pyros getting a lot of flamethrower kills going forward. Kainoa gets sniped, though, as the point gets captured. The spawn gets extended to 16 seconds. They really need their Dome Man up. It's overtime right now for Train Station. One more cap is all they need to end this match here. So they're going to get Kainoa back and hope he can throw some stickies onto point soon.
Yeah, I mean, they have this. It's actually not in overtime yet, so you might have a frame or two if they cap it to potentially get back on it. ItsyAcore gonna get caught out going for an understab on Cliff, and with matches only being at 40%, there is an ad here.
Lucky got caught. They didn't get anything this time.
Right, but Ink is in deep, gonna go down, and so is Saturation. Not what you want to be doing, but Matches gets sniped out! Jims finds another snipe onto Matches. She's been consistently going down way more often than you'd like to see, so there might be a chance here. Kainoa just respawning right now. Should be able to get a lot of pressure in, but the point's almost capped. Kai gonna get knocked off of it, and it won't be enough. The cap goes over to Train Station, and they will pull this one out 4-1.
Yep, 4-1 for Train Station in their first map of the Invite Qualifiers. And while the match did have a couple of close points, notably that fourth round overall, and then a couple like pushes that happened, that was pretty one-sided. I'd say seeing this, it's pretty apparent that Train Station are the superior team looking to go into an Invite season. When the teams need to show their best right now in these upcoming like 4 matches or so to decide who's going to be playing in the top level of Highlander, you're definitely looking at Train Station as a team that's going to do it over ItsyAcore experience.
Yeah, they definitely look a lot stronger, but both of these teams, I think, had some exploitable weaknesses going forward. If I'm the other qualifier teams looking at this match, I'm looking at the ItsyAcore experience and I'm thinking, okay, if we kill their namesake, they're not that much of a threat. You know, I had mentioned we had a couple questions for the ItsyAcore experience, right? And my answers to those is on Jim's Gims, probably. Seemed to be doing decent, right?
Yeah,
Especially
if he
for
has
how bad his
space,
team
if he
was.
has space, he definitely like has the DM for it for the sniper.
Inquisition on Scout, probably
Mm,
not.
yeah,
Kainoa on Demo, probably not.
rough game overall for the combo of ItsyAcore experience. Pretty much their best rounds came when their soldier, spy, and sniper were doing a lot of work. Other than that, when it came to like Uber exchanges, so I don't know how much Dolphin had overhead cam going, but for these teams, if I were to give advice to the ItsyAcore core experience right here, look at how your Ubers are ending in post and realize that you have no space to work with. Even when they had a good pop and they got damage or even a pick in their Uber, they always backed entirely off the point and they just got walked up on by Nick K. Nick K, again, they're 660 DPM. It's not 700, but that's a crazy number. He was just free to do whatever he wanted because he got so much space for free. It looked like ItsyAcore experience just ceded so much space to the demo man right there for train station, and if he's able to get that much space, Nick is going to pop off every time.
Yeah. The logs of ItsyAcore actually top ranked the entire server there. On the back of 11 kills, yeah, in just the second round alone. Yeah, it was just a you know, well played effort by Train Station. But if again I'm those other qualifier teams, I'm looking at Train Station, I'm seeing a team that otherwise had nothing going for them getting absolutely ravaged by a spy. And I'm watching matches who is consistently, I feel, you know, I can't comment on the forces, right? Because a couple times though maybe someone else saying two force, but there were a bunch of forces on both sides that I really didn't think needed to happen. That you could have trusted your team a little bit more, made the enemy team kind of, you know, demonstrate the skill to demand that fear and demand that respect when it comes to popping at full health. So I'm looking at Train Station and they played well, but I don't think they played as well as they could have. And I think matches could be exploitable going forward. I think their lack of spy awareness could be exploitable going forward. And, you know, this is happening while their demo man's dropping 700 DPM, right?
Yeah, if you go on a map, if you go on like a payload map where it's a lot harder for demo man to just carry you through the entire game, if Nick's DPM gets reduced to say like 300 or 400, if he has a bad game or a map that doesn't favor him, all of a sudden this team looks like they have a lot more places you can look to for advantages.
I mean, Nick is not a bad demo man by any means, but he's not someone who would, I don't believe, at least, I'd love for him to prove me wrong, who would really be a major threat to top invite, right? If he plays against another demo man equal to his skill level,
yeah, if you're seeing
which there
Nick,
are going to be,
yeah, if you're seeing Nick versus a returning player who didn't main demo during his time and he's dropping 700 DPM, great. How is Nick K gonna look against Exile or against Bowl in an invite season?
right? And that might not even be that fair of a comparison, but someone like a Townsy, right, who's at maybe a similar level, but when Train Station had this many problems in a game that matches should have gone 0-20 and 0 in.
Yeah, 7 deaths is not what you're looking for, and you had a very dominant
they gave up a
rounds.
bunch of chain stabs. It's not like there's so much pressure coming in that they can't spy check. You know, those are all things that they're really going to need to, you know, shape up for. And with Yi also being in these qualifiers, I'm not sure how their rosters changed from last season, but I'd imagine having played a season in Invite, Yi's would have adapted to a lot of these things. And, you know, those are things that they should be able to exploit. So both of these teams, I think, definitely have things to improve on going forward.
Can I just say, something I've always loved about casting the lower divisions and the qualifiers is that, unlike in invite cast, where you have a couple people who will join in and watch from the teams, I feel like every time you cast either a lower division or a qualifier team coming in, you see their players in the Twitch chat all the time. All these players who we're talking about and saying like, "Oh, they did this wrong or they could do better here," they're all listening to us right now. I see them typing.
Oh, I know. I've got the chat pulled up on my other monitor. I've got eyes on.
Yeah, it's such a fun like departure from the normal invite cast. I just enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see since you know, we're here, not on the playing field, so we definitely have a bit of a separation from this, so we can say these things. Not out of malice or
yeah, it's not out of malice. We want these teams to be as good as possible.
Yeah, because I mean we've got a good chance to see these things. So
Yeah, if you guys come into invite and you're trashed, then I have to watch that for an entire season, okay?
Exactly. Unless, I mean, if you really want it, you can just say, hey, don't cast us, we don't want to be casted. Then, well, but everyone wants to be casted. You should want to be casted. I think that's one of the great parts about this game is that it's, you don't have to commit 15 hours a day to a game and treat it like a job to, enjoy the top levels of the community. So, bit of a tangent there, but any kind of closing thoughts, Zag?
Not really many. That was pretty much what I expected for an invite debut, or an invite a qualifier debut, where we see these teams come out. They have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, and they definitely have the potential to improve from what I've seen. They have good players. Their players definitely are good at the game. It's just about making the team work together and fixing all the holes in the ship.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the part of these qualifiers is too, right? Make sure all the teams are playing against each other and teams that are, going to be closer to their own skill level rather than just selecting one and saying, all right, you're going to invite, in the same way you'd say you're going to Brazil. So they've got some time to play against their contemporaries in a really serious setting and just how to hopefully try to fix those holes because definitely there.
Also, I was told to give a shout out to Clokey. That's all I got.
And I'm gonna give my shout out to Kainoa, my boy, finally coming back after a long time out of the community.
No, get him next time, Kai.
Yeah, but I think that'll do it for us. I am Alto, Zag by my side, hearts in the chat for Dolphin, the stalwart behind the camera, as always. Thanks for watching, and I believe we'll see you tomorrow night as well with more qualifiers.
Yeah, that's true. All weekend we're going.